Hi guys, welcome to this ISO builder created with the version of November I see, and it's the 2 TB SSD where everything goes on, all the virtual machines that I create. Now first off, VirtualBox is the official sandbox tool, right, to test out operating systems inside some kind of box, a sandbox where you can install things and mimic hardware and pass things through to the CPU and network, etc., etc. I have a few moments to show you that it's also working on Gnome-boxes. Somebody mentioned to me I've made a lot of videos already about VirtualBox. I mean, like dozens. The same applies for VMware, dozens, and a few for Gnome-boxes and a few for QEMU, right? So this one is about Gnome-boxes. Sudo pacman -s, so you know already where it's coming from. It's GNOME. It's linked to that. And yeah, we get a lot of stuff in our system because of it. All dependencies will have to be there. Gnome-boxes. And then we get this. Okay. I can almost not read it, but it probably, yeah, it says welcome to boxes, and then boxes makes it easy to install and run virtual machines. Did not know that. Express installation. Okay, easy tools. Quite difficult to read, the white on white. Dear designers, not so good. Drag and drop. And I guess I need to close this thing. All right. So I've got myself ISOs, plenty of ISOs to test out. A plus for what? OpenSUSE and Leap, Debian 11. I have on my planning to do, well, Christmas planning, right? To do an OpenSUSE for once. But I have selected a file to install a virtual machines. Looks like that's gonna be what I need. I have an ArcoLinux out. No, not there. You have a few of them here. And I have another one there. So let's go to what I've shared online already. Shared core team, left WM is here, ArcoLinux D is here. Let's take the XS, so not too much, and maybe with an LTS, just to show our viewers that we have a Linux system with Linux kernel or Linux LTS. And it doesn't matter because a kernel is going to look differently at your hardware. Yeah, unknown OS, fine, unknown OS is good for me. And customize. Plenty of memory, 32, so right, why not? Around 10 maximum size. I always take around 30. There are people who are in desperate need of more space, and I give 8 and 5 GB, and then they start running out of space, and they say, we can't install ArcoLinux. Yeah, give it enough space, right? 32 GB is more than enough, even if you go full out with a plasma with lots of games and other extra stuff, probably will still be possible. It will not be possible if you install everything on Calamares. I've done the exercise myself, so normally I take around 30, install all the kernels, all the desktops, all the software. It's not sufficient, right? So you need to take a lot more than, I don't know how much, but a lot more than 30. Customize. Create. Now I need to do something. No, it's okay. There we are. So we're in business. So the choices are yours. You have an NVIDIA card that needs the NVIDIA DKMS. The future will provide you a DKMS, which means it's gonna work on Zen. It's gonna work on Linux Zen, Linux hardened, Linux LTS, and Linux. So it will be working always. Does not mean that the old cards are supported. The 340, the 390, I think there's a 470 as well. So does not mean that. It's just the NVIDIA drivers, the latest, the newest hardware. So we boot up. I see here a button for full screen. I think I can do that. Yep, it's good. Press release. I missed that. Control Alt something to release the cam. Yep, Control Alt. Not important. So we're booting up. So it's safe to say that Gnome-boxes then is gonna work just fine. Resolution of the drivers is always the same thing. In the case of XFC, I hope that will be simple because there are settings in XFC where you can choose what to take, and that's the correct one for me. Keep this configuration, close, et voila. All themed and tweaked. I cannot stress enough that a beginner installation is much easier than advanced installation. Don't think that you're advanced because you install 2 Linux distributions and you know it all, right? If you choose advanced installation, then you know what you're doing and you know what you're clicking. That means I skip this, I'll get the Linux kernel. I skip this, I'll get just what's on the ISO. There are already things on here, right? There are already drivers on here. We do not select anything, which means I will not get NVIDIA because I've chosen the line number 1. Line number 1 says don't have NVIDIA. So I won't end up with NVIDIA. Right? Next, next, skip, 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 skip. Is the same thing. Somebody asked me today, is this the same thing? Yes, that's 100% doing the same thing as beginner. If you don't select anything, you tell the system, I don't know anything about drivers, I don't know anything about kernels, but please install me ArcoLinux. That's all we do now, just automatic installation. Oh, look at the name. Where did it get this stuff? PCI 440 Pix 9. Okay, that's good. And then we go for next. Install and done. So this is your Gnome-boxes. I don't know if there's much to say about the application itself. Maybe we can do this. Yeah, maybe I can open it again. I don't know. We'll see. We have here some lines. It's live. Good. What's this? Click on items to select them. Okay, cancel. And this keyboard shortcuts help and about boxes, maybe the future reference. This is 40.1, 41.2 stable, and it comes from Red Hat. Right? I always tell you, think out of the box, because we're all Linux, right? And sometimes it really shows. In this case, it really shows it's coming from Red Hat. And yes, I know, on ArcoLinux, and then you say that's ArcoLinux. No, it's actually ArcoLinux, and the Linux kernel, they come from Linus Torvalds. I mean, it's one big family, and stop treating it as separate entities. They are all connected somehow. Take a screenshot, add a favorite, force shutdown, restart properties maybe. Aha, I have a QEMU session. Okay, voila. So that's another way of oh, look at that. Another way of installing virtual machines of boxes. Force shutdown, that's my button. I always like the buttons. Don't waste any time. Force. CPUs. I have 16 CPUs. Okay. Right. Troubleshooting log. What's that? Ooh. Edit XML, devices and share. Ah, I can link my Logitech webcam. I can link my microphone through it. Virtual surrounds. Not that I want to. Our LED controller. Yeah, I believe I have something like that, but yeah, me and lights. And snapshots are available. Yeah, it's less, how do you say, less menus and less choices, it seems, as in VirtualBox, as in VMware. I want to keep it simple and stupid. It does give us a feeling that it's we're left out of well, important decisions or things to change. Maybe that's not the case, but it's an impression anyway I get, that it's a little bit less than the other tools. Send file. So this time, this version, we get this more communication of what he's doing. He's installing things, removing things. And finally, there we are. Boom. Let's make it big. Nope. Will it boot itself? Should I do something? Okay. You should click that thing. Now I need to get up here. Voila, 1920, 1080. And yep. maybe. Sometimes it helps to tell the machine again and again to fix it, to change it. Maybe there's a keyboard shortcut here as well. Now then, these are all the Linux, the ArcoLinux keyboards shortcuts I'm pressing. So back to here, back to the display, back to there, back to there, back to there, back to here, apply. Thank you very much. Keep this configuration, et voila. So it's test. Basically, that's all it is, a test that this ISO is exactly working as supposed to. Well, it's exactly working as on VirtualBox, VMware, QEMU. And let's have a look at all the packages. So basically, maybe a good thing, workflow thing, right? I do not go to the red thing. I could have gone to the red thing and take a look and install the updates here. Don't. Start reading, cups, printers, double conversion, I don't know, images, lib cups, printing. So this cups, that cups, probably linked. Pango, Qt5 base, Splix is there, Termite, that's my doing. So Termite is still updated. People say it died, but updates still come in, right? So new version of Termite, VTE is there, and XX hash, so that's for the dope hash or something, I don't know. And off we go. But gradually, right, after years and years of reading all these packages, you gradually learn more and more about them. And it's not important if you know all of them. You hear me say as well, I don't know what it is. So it probably never came up. So it's not that an important package. Furthermore, there is no etc scal message, so I'm not doing a scal. And maybe if you know, right, if you know you install packages from the AUR, then now is a good time to do up all. It's gonna check everything again, which is just updated. But now, last line says looking for AUR upgrades. Meaning, if you did create something, if you did build something from the AUR, it's gonna be checked. Okay, version X here locally, version X there on AUR, nothing to do. And that's the pain point. How do you say? That's probably not in English, that's probably a direct translation of Dutch. That's where the shoe doesn't fit anymore, because the fact is that if the maintainer is not updating the number, the version, and that happens quite a lot, so they're not following up the actual version, not updating it on the AUR, then Yay, Paru, Trizen, whatever AUR helper will not see it. There might be more and more updates, but if you build the package, then you get a new number in. This might be too difficult to grasp, but just remember that it's not always one-on-one, it's not always correct what you see on the AUR. If you build a package, you might get a package that's more recent than the number indicates on the AUR. Okay, it's all in the package build, how they do that. Anyway, just a test. Gnome boxes, it's a go. Cheers.